Welcome to the Daily Current Affairs by CivicCentre IAS, where we try to discuss the important articles from the Hindu, the Indian Express, and the PIB from the UPSC CSC prelims perspective. Displayed are the list of articles which we are going to discuss in today's video. The first article of the day says that the Thadous, which is one of the oldest and the largest non-Naga tribes of Manipur, has extended support to the N. Biren Singh government's move to implement the National Register of Citizens. In this context, let us talk about it. See, the Thadou community is an indigenous ethnic group primarily found in the northeastern part of India, especially in the states of Manipur, Nagaland and Mizoram, as well as in the parts of Myanmar. Know that they are part of the larger Kuki-Chin Mizo ethnic group, which is a subgroup of the broader Tibeto-Burman language family. Now, moving on to talk about their origin and history. See, the Thadou people are believed to have originated from the Chin Hills in Myanmar, and their ancestors migrated into India over centuries. Historically, the Thadou people are hunters, farmers and warriors. Know that they had a traditional system of governance known as Zoo village chief village system, which is still a prominent feature in some areas today. Then what about their language? See, the Thadou people speak Thadou, which is a Tibeto-Burman language. Know that it is also referred to as Thadou Kuki in some regions. Now let us talk about their culture and traditions. Talking about the festivals they celebrate. See, the Thadou community celebrates various festivals including Chawang Kat, which is a harvest festival, and the Christmas festival, which is widely observed due to the influence of Christianity. Talking about the religion. See, traditionally the Thadou community practiced animism, where they believed in spirits and the forces of nature. However, due to the missionary influence, a significant number of Thadou people have converted to Christianity, particularly Protestant Christianity. So Christianity has had a profound impact on their social structure and lifestyle. If you have to know about the social structure, see, the social organization of Thadou people is traditionally based on the village system. So each village would have its own chief who acted as both a leader and a judge in the community matters. Furthermore, the Thadou people have strong clan-based identities and many of their names reflect this system. Then what about their economy and occupation? See, traditionally the Thadou community was involved in agriculture, with rice being the staple crop. Furthermore, they practiced jhum cultivation, growing crops like rice, maize, vegetables and fruits. The second article of the day says that Himachal Pradesh Chief Minister on Monday urged the centre to explore the possibility of running trains on the Kalka-Shimla Narrow Gauge Railway, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, on green hydrogen, which is a clean energy resource. In this context, let us talk about green hydrogen and then about the National Green Hydrogen Mission. See, the hydrogen is a key industrial fuel that has a variety of applications, including the production of ammonia, steel, refineries and electricity. So, the green hydrogen is when hydrogen is produced by electrolysis, by which the splitting of water into hydrogen and oxygen with electricity generated from renewable energy sources such as solar or wind. Significantly, this is the most environmentally sustainable way of producing hydrogen. However, all of the hydrogen manufactured now is so-called black or brown hydrogen produced from coal. Further, the grey hydrogen is produced from natural gas, while the blue hydrogen is from the fossil fuel sources, where ensuring carbon emitted is captured via carbon capture processes. Now, talking about the National Green Hydrogen Mission, see, the intent of the mission is to incentivize the commercial production of green hydrogen and make India a net exporter of the fuel. Know that the mission will facilitate demand creation, production, utilization and export of green hydrogen. Furthermore, the mission has laid out a target to develop green hydrogen production capacity of at least 5 million metric ton per annum. Notably, this is alongside adding renewable energy capacity of about 125 gigawatt in the country. Also, there are two umbrella sub-missions under the program. The first is the Strategic Interventions for Green Hydrogen Transition Program, in short called the SITE, that will fund the domestic manufacturing of electrolyzers and produce green hydrogen. Then the second is to support pilot projects in emerging end-use sectors and production pathways. Know that the nodal ministry is the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. The next article says that India's manufacturing sector growth recovered from September's 8-month low to 57.5 in the October month, fueled by faster increases in total new orders and international sales, which is according to a monthly survey on Monday. In this context, let us talk about the Purchasing Managers Index. See, it is a survey based measure that asks respondents about the changes in their perception about key business variables as compared with the previous month. Know that the purpose of the PMI is to provide information about the current and future business conditions to company decision makers, analysts, and investors. Furthermore, there are two types of PMI, which are the manufacturing PMI and the services PMI. So it is calculated separately for the manufacturing and services sectors, and then a composite index is also constructed. See, the PMI is a number from 0 to 100. Hence, a print above 50 means expansion, while a score below 50 denotes contraction. Notably, a reading at 50 indicates no change. So, if PMI of the previous month is higher than the PMI of the current month, it represents that the economy is contracting. Know that it is usually released at the start of every month. It is therefore considered a good leading indicator of economic activity. Remember that PMI is compiled by the ISH market for more than 40 economies worldwide. See, IHS market is a global leader in information, analytics and solutions for major industries and markets that drive the economies worldwide. Know that it is part of the S&P Global. The next article says that according to the Central Pollution Control Board, which is a majority of pollution of the hotspots in Delhi remained in the severe category throughout the day. Furthermore, prevailing unfavorable meteorological conditions of low wind speeds in the day and calm winds at the night kept the air quality index levels hovering near the severe category for the last 2 days. In this context, let us talk about the air quality index, in short called the AQI. See, the air quality index in India is a tool designed to provide the public with real-time information about the quality of air in their localities. Significantly, the air quality index system categorizes the air quality into 6 levels, ranging from good amounting to 0 to 50 to severe, which is 400 plus, providing an easily understandable way to assess the impact of pollution on health. So the categories are good, which is 0 to 50, satisfactory 51 to 100, moderate 101 to 200, poor 201 to 300, very poor 301 to 400, and lastly severe category, which amounts to 401 to 500. Now, moving on to talk about the Central Pollution Control Board, in short called the CPCB. See, it is a statutory organization which was constituted in September of 1974 under the Water Prevention Control Pollution Act of 1974. Furthermore, the CPCB was entrusted with the powers and functions under the Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act of 1981. Significantly, it serves as a field formation and also provides technical services to the Ministry of Environment and Forests of the provisions of the Environmental Protection Act of 1986. If we have to look at the principal functions of the CPCB, firstly, to promote the cleanliness of streams and wells in different areas of the states by prevention, control, and abatement of water pollution. Secondly, to improve the quality of air and to prevent, control, or abate air pollution in the country. Notably, one of the CPCB's key initiatives is the National Air Quality Monitoring Program, which aims to track their air quality status and its trends across the India. Now, if you have to look at the objectives of the NAMP, they are as follows. Firstly, monitoring the air quality, under which to assess the present air quality status across different regions in the country and monitor the air quality over time. Then to understand the trends in air pollution and their impacts on health and the environment. Secondly, regulation and control of pollution. Under this, to help in regulating and controlling air pollution from industries and other sources in order to meet their air quality standards. And then the data collected aids in identifying the areas where air quality is deteriorating and measures need to be taken. Lastly, background data for urban planning, under which to provide essential background air quality data that is necessary for industrial siting and town planning. So this data is crucial for determining whether a new industrial development or urban area could potentially exacerbate air pollution. The next article talks about the PM Vishwakarma scheme. See, launched by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi on September 17th of 2023 on Vishwakarma Jayanti, the PM Vishwakarma Yojana is a significant initiative aimed at empowering artisans and craftspeople across India. Announced at the India International Convention and Expo Center in New Delhi, the scheme underscores the government's commitment to preserving India's rich cultural heritage by supporting traditional craftsmanship. If we have to talk about its scope, See, the focus is to uplift the artisans in the informal sector known as the Vishwakarmas, skilled in traditional crafts like blacksmithing, goldsmithing, pottery, carpentry, and sculpting. Significantly, the goal is to improve the product quality, market accessibility, and integrate artisans into domestic and global value chains. Now, the objectives of the scheme are given as below. Firstly, to enable the recognition of artisans and craftsmen people as Vishwakarma, making them eligible to avail all the benefits under the scheme. Secondly, to provide a skill upgradation to hone their skills and make relevant and suitable training opportunities available to them. Thirdly, to provide support for better and modern tools to enhance their capability, productivity, and quality of the products. Then, to provide the intended beneficiaries an easy access to collateral-free credit and reduce the cost of credit by providing interest subvention. Next, to provide incentives for digital transaction to encourage the digital empowerment of Vishwakarmas. Lastly, to provide a platform for brand promotion and market linkages to help them access new opportunities for growth. See, the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises is the nodal ministry for it. Significantly, the scheme will be jointly implemented by the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, and the Department of Financial Services under the Ministry of Finance of the Government of India. If we have to talk about the key details, see, it is fully funded by the Union Government with 13,000 crore rupees allocated for 5 years from financial year 23-24 to financial year 27-28. Furthermore, free registration through the common service centers using a biometric based PM Vishwakarma portal. Also, the registered artisans receive a PM Vishwakarma certificate and ID card. The next article talks about the Namo Drone Didi scheme. See, launched to empower women-led self-help groups, the Namo Drone Didi scheme provides drone technology for agriculture services. So from 2024-25 to 2025-26, the scheme aims to equip 15,000 women self-help groups with drones for offering rental services to farmers, primarily for applying liquid fertilizers and pesticides. Furthermore, this initiative is expected to generate an additional annual income of at least 1 lakh per self-help group, promoting economic empowerment and sustainable livelihoods. Now, if we have to talk about the key features of the Namo Drone Didi scheme, the first one is related to financial support and accessibility. See, self-help groups receive financial assistance covering 80% of the drone and accessory costs up to 8 lakhs. Then for the remaining 20%, these groups can access loans through the Agriculture Infrastructure Fund with a 3% interest subsidy. Secondly, the scheme is a joint initiative by the Departments of Agriculture, Rural Development and Fertilizers along with lead fertilizer companies. So, this collaboration ensures efficient resource allocation and sustainable support for the self-help groups in rural areas. Third feature, you can say it's as a cluster-based implementation. See, the target areas and the self-help groups in rural regions are selected based on the agricultural demand for drone services. Notably, the clusters with economically viable demand for drone use are prioritized. Know that one SHG member receives a 15-day training, including 5-day pilot training and 10-day training in agriculture applications. Then another member or family member interested in maintenance will be trained as a drone assistant. Furthermore, the lead fertilizer companies bridge the SHGs and drone manufacturers, assisting in procurement, repairs, and maintenance. So, they also promote the use of nano fertilizers for efficient agriculture practices. Moving on to talk about the benefits of the Namo Drone Didi scheme. Firstly, women gain skills in drone technology, enabling them to perform tasks like crop monitoring, soil analysis, and precision farming, increasing their value in the modern agriculture. Secondly, the drones enable precise applications of fertilizers and pesticides, reducing chemical usage and environmental impact while lowering the costs for farmers. Then, specialized training in drone technology helps the woman to acquire skills in nutrient and pesticide application, soil analysis, and efficient water management. Lastly, the SHG members benefit from the supportive network with access to workshops, forums, and mentorship from agricultural professionals and industry experts. The next article says that Delhi is among the bottom 5 cities in terms of fund expenditure under the National Clean Air Program, under which 68% of the funds are unutilized. So among the NCR cities, Faridabad lagged with an expenditure of 39%, Ghaziabad utilized 89%, and Noida recorded the least utilization of 11%. In this context, let us talk about the National Clean Air Program. See, the National Clean Air Program was launched by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change as a collaborative initiative with multiple ministries and states. Know that it aims to improve air quality at the city, regional and national levels. Significantly, NCAP is a focused, time-bound program that seeks to implement various policies, enhance air quality monitoring and increase the public participation in over 100 cities. So, the goal is to achieve prescribed annual average ambient air quality standards across all locations in India over long term. What about the target? See, it is to reduce the particulate matter concentration by 20 to 30% by the 2024. Notably, the targets are based on the global examples like Beijing and Seoul, which achieved a 35 to 40% particulate matter 2.5 reduction over 5 years, and Santiago and Mexico City, which saw 73% and 61% reduction in 22 to 25 years. Moving on to talk about the objectives. Firstly, to ensure the stringent implementation of preventing, controlling and reducing the air pollution. Secondly, to develop a comprehensive air quality monitoring network nationwide for reliable data. And lastly, to promote the data dissemination, public outreach and build a skilled manpower for air quality management. Then what about the tenure? See, the NCAP is a mid-term 5-year action plan launched in 2019. So, based on the national and international experiences, it may be extended to 20 to 25 years after a mid-term review to achieve long-term air quality improvements. The last article of the day says that the National Commission for Scheduled Tribes has taken cognizance of representations sent to it against a June advisory of the National Tiger Conservation Authority (NTCA), asking state forest departments to submit action plans on relocation of villages from tiger reserves. In this context, let us first talk about the National Commission for Scheduled Tribes. See, the National Commission for Scheduled Tribes was established by amending the Article 338 and inserting a new Article 338A in the Constitution through the Constitution 89th Amendment Act of 2003. So, by this amendment, the erstwhile National Commission for Scheduled Castes and Scheduled Tribes was replaced by two separate commissions, namely the National Commission for Scheduled Castes and the National Commission for Scheduled Tribes. Now, what are the key functions and areas of focus? See, the Commission focuses on enhancing the living standards of scheduled tribes through initiatives related to education, healthcare, employment, housing, and rural development. Secondly, protecting the land rights of the tribes is one of the Commission's key responsibilities. So, it ensures that tribals are not displaced unfairly and that their traditional land ownership is protected. Thirdly, the NCST works to ensure adequate representation of scheduled tribes in various institutions of governance, particularly in parliamentary and local body elections. Then it promotes and protects the unique cultural heritage, languages, customs, and traditions of the tribal communities and ensures that the tribal identity is respected. Lastly, the NCST addresses any social discrimination, exploitation, or violence faced by scheduled tribes, including the issues of bonded labor, land alienation, and social injustice. Now, moving on to talk about the National Tiger Conservation Authority. See, it is a statutory body in India responsible for overseeing and promoting the protection and conservation of tigers and their habitats across the country. Significantly, the NTCA was established in the year 2005 under the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, following the recognition of urgent need to strengthen the country's efforts in tiger conservation. Know that it operates within the framework of Wildlife Protection Act of 1972 and the Tiger Conservation Plan, which aims to address the major threats to tiger populations in India and ensure their long-term survival. Then what about the powers of the NTCA? See, the NTCA approves the management plans for all tiger reserves and oversees their implementation. Secondly, the NTCA provides financial assistance to states and tiger reserves for conservation activities, including anti-poaching measures, habitat restoration, and infrastructure development. Thirdly, it advises the central and the state governments on policies related to tiger conservation and the implementation of the Wildlife Protection Act. Lastly, the NTCA has the authority to suggest the imposition of stricter laws or regulations in areas where tiger populations are under threat. So, in this video, we have discussed 8 articles in total for today. We'll be back again with another video tomorrow. Thank you.